Good morning. Today is day 70. I almost filmed nothing yesterday because it was just pouring down rain the entire day. It was like soaked and cold. I just kind of like hiked really fast the 13 or 14 miles I had to do to get to that bed and breakfast, and the place was nice and clean. They were kind of strict and I felt like I was like walking on eggshells the entire time, but you know, it served the purpose it needed to, which was to get me out of the rain. So that was good because it rained all day yesterday, poured all night, still raining this morning, and now it's kind of stopped. It's supposed to be just kind of cloudy and misty all day, and then tonight and tomorrow night it's supposed to rain again. But today I'm trying to do about 23 miles to the shelter, just trying to get as far as I can while it's still nice out, and then just see from there. Probably get to Harper's Ferry on Monday. Today is Saturday, and I don't know if I'm gonna stay there or just kind of hike through it, but yeah, it's gonna be a wet next couple days, but it's okay. Doing good. Also, last night at the hostel, after showering, cleaning up and stuff, they took us into downtown Front Royal, and we were able to resupply at a grocery store called Martin's, which was nice. I got some food for the next couple days, and there was a Mexican restaurant in the parking lot-ish area, so went there and got like a quesadilla and beans and rice, and it was a nice meal. And I slept really good in the hostel last night. It was just like, the place was very like awkward. I don't know. It was like the mountain home bed and breakfast, I think is what it's called. I don't know, it's the one right off the trail when you get into Front Royal. So it was good, but and it's nice you don't have to shuttle to it or anything, you can just walk there. But I don't know that I would ever stay there again, but it was what I needed yesterday because I was cold and wet. I'm gonna give a little review on the Shenandoahs, since I think the Shenandoahs were kind of like talked about before going in as being like really easy and just a really fun section of trail. So I would give them, I give it Shenandoah section like a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. I think the first half of it was a bit easier, like the trail was smoother, less rocky, more gradual ups and downs. And then I think the second half was like more rocky, and I think maybe the climbs were steeper, or maybe I was just tired. I don't know, but I really like the camp stores and waysides, even though a lot of them are closed and the grill was closed to all of them. I still like being able to like stop in and buy snacks, and just seeing like a lot of day hikers and section hikers and cyclists and stuff is fun, I think. So I like them. I think they were, like when people told me Virginia was flat, they lied, but when they said the Shenandoahs were easy, they weren't lying. They were pretty good. But today, I don't think it's going to get too crazy. I'm not really sure. But tomorrow, we're going to hit the Virginia roller coaster for the first half of the day. And it's supposed to be raining, so that might be the entire day. We might stop early. Or maybe keep going. I don't really know. So that's supposed to be just a lot of ups and downs, but hopefully it's not too bad. We're at Ray's Rhino, which I'm pretty sure it's this little knot thing on the tree here. It does look like a rhino. And it's funny because when I was hiking, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like a head of an animal. And then there's a sign that says Ray's Rhino. So it's kind of cool. Crossing the train tracks. And we're about to go, I think, underneath the interstate. And then I'm pretty sure there's a giant climb on the other side, but you know, that'll be later. I am heading under the interstate now. It's real loud. And then climbing up on the other side. I think I'm about 8 miles in for the day. I'm about a little over a third of the way done. And it's like 11 o'clock, so it's making decent timing. I didn't get out of the place today till about 8. because they told us breakfast at 6:30, like we signed up for that, but the breakfast wasn't ready till almost 7, and we were like locked out. Like it was after 6:30 and we were trying to get into the actual place because we were like out in this cabin thing, and they were like locked out and you could see them in there, and they just like were totally ignoring us, and it was raining. I don't know, it's kind of a weird place, but you know, it's okay. Moving on. I got to have a nice dry night in, so it was worth it. I found myself a lunch spot. It's like almost 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, so I wasn't finding any great lunch spots, and the shelter is like still maybe 3 miles away, so I just wanted to stop in. Like the lunch shelter. The shelter I'm gonna stay at tonight, I'm gonna be halfway there. But yeah, I'm gonna have like some of the leftover flatbread I had from the last resupply and not bust into my tortillas yet. And I have like some cream cheese and then the leftover Beyond Jerky from the last resupply also. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna have. This is top tier right here. It's gonna be good. This here was my lunch rock, but I'm packed up ready to leave. I didn't really make sure I didn't leave anything. Didn't really get to dry out any of my stuff at the hostel because it was raining the entire time we were there, and there wasn't really like any covered area to dry anything out. I did hang up my tent and try to like use the rain to rinse all the mud off of it, but it's all still wet. I wanted to dry it out here at lunch, but the sun didn't really come out at all, so it wasn't really gonna dry, and I could have waited out and tried to, but the ground is all still wet and the trees are all wet. Everything's still wet, so it's just not really gonna do anything. So tonight I might try to stay in the shelter. It's supposed to start raining tonight, and then we're supposed to get like 2 inches of rain tomorrow, and then rain again tomorrow night. So maybe I'll just try to stay in the shelter tonight if it doesn't look too bad. Also, I'm having issues with my feet again, where like the skin is just so wet. It's just like the toes are rubbing together and my feet are just like, the skin's just like falling off. I don't know, it's really gross. And it just makes my feet kind of like itchy and irritated, and it kind of hurts to hike sometimes. So I mean, I've been doing my shoe off breaks at lunch every day. I mean, yesterday I didn't take a break because it was raining, but I had a lot of time to dry out my feet yesterday. And then I dried them out at lunch today. I might do another shoe off break for just a little bit before camp tonight, and then try to have nice dry feet at camp tonight. Tomorrow, this supposed to get like 2 inches of rain, so I don't really think the trail's gonna be a river again, so I don't really think there's any hope for my toes, but maybe I can like tape and band-aid, do the band-aid and tape thing I was doing before. At least like my shin hasn't been hurting. Like it hurt really bad that one day, and it's been a lot better lately, so I'm hoping that stays that way. Alright, so I just crossed this little stream here, which actually like appears to be flooded, and it was kind of hard to cross because it's like far. Like I had to come all the way over there. All of this is water. I don't know, it's like, I didn't get my feet wet or anything, but I almost fell. I'm gonna stop and filter a little water, and I think I'm about 8 miles from the shelter, so I'm just gonna get enough to get me there, and then I'll get water at the shelter tonight. But yeah, stop and get a little drink. The sun finally came out. I might stop and try to dry out my tent, but there's nowhere to like sit it down. Like I'm walking through like a jungle of weeds. I don't know, it's really weird. But I'm only like 7.5 miles from the shelter, and it's like not even 3:30 yet. So I feel like I'm making okay time. I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna get there super late, which is good. But I might take some breaks or do the tent drying out break. Yeah, I was seeing a bunch of day hikers earlier and section hikers. I think I was closer to parking lots and roads then. I don't know. I'm in a really weird area here. It's like they like bulldozed it. I don't even know. It's like they like rutted up all that. But then I'm like walking through like a bunch of weeds. I don't know. It's very odd. And there's a lot of bugs. So I'm kind of hoping that it ends soon. I don't know. I'm like a mile from the shelter, and I'm probably gonna get there around 6:30, which is early, especially because we kind of start hiking around like 8. It was a 23-mile day, but today's terrain was pretty chill, so that's good. I'm gonna try to sleep in the shelter, I think, because it's supposed to rain and my tent is already wet and muddy, and I really don't want like to deal with that in the morning because it's just another difficult thing to do. But we'll see, because I don't know how many people are at the shelter, and if the shelter's full, I will be in my tent because I cannot be in a full shelter. It just, can't do it. I can't sleep that close to people. Or if it looks crusty, I just can't do it either. But yeah, I ran into some people I hadn't seen in a while. It's a little stream crossing here. I thought they were ahead of me, like way ahead, but I guess they got off for a day in the rain, and so they're actually like right here. So that is cool. And yeah, they're actually like right here, so maybe I'll see them tomorrow also. Yeah, we made it. Finally.